Hi, this is Pepper Pace, and I haven't been around much lately. You might see me a little bit on Facebook, but uh, I've just been really super busy, so I decided to do a quick video vlog to let you know what's going on with Pepper Pace. So, first was the release of Wheels of Steel, Book 4, and that has been a release for about a month and a half or something like that. And that is the continuing story of Jason and his band of creative friends and his shy girlfriend, or I should say, reformed shy. She's no longer quite as shy girlfriend, Robin. So that was Wheels of Steel. And then my next book is going to be called Second Chances, and I believe it's going to be a novella because it's still a work in progress. Second Chances is about a lady who, like a lot of people, she found herself kind of down and out financially, single mother, just didn't know where to turn as she made some wrong decisions and ended up in jail. And the story is about, I guess, falling down so low and then bringing yourself back up, which is what hopefully, you know, happens in that story. I can't give away anything, so I don't know. So, what am I going to be doing? My very next event is actually a Facebook event, online launch party, and it's for Jackie Kelly. She has a book which is called Going Backwards. And that is going to be on Tuesday, August the 25th at 8 o'clock. There's going to be a lot of different authors there. I will be there, and I will be doing a giveaway of Wheels of Steel, the whole entire series, for my portion of it. So it starts at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 p.m. Pacific Time, and it will end at 10 o'clock. So it's a fairly short one, and after that, my next event is going to be, I'll be at Brab's book event in Vegas, Las Vegas. That is October the 9th. So I'm not there as a featured author. I am just there as a fan. So I'm looking forward to being able to meet and talk to some authors and some of you too, some of my fans. And I'll be there with Tiana Levine. So she's not a featured author either. We are just going to have fun. Later this year, I will be doing the final book in the Urban Vampire series. And when I say it's the final book, it doesn't mean that I'm killing everybody off and that there's absolutely no chance of them ever returning. As a matter of fact, I'm leaving it open so that if later I feel like writing more in the vampire series, I will, be able to go back into it. But it's going to resolve a lot of the issues that have been going on throughout the series. So that's going to be the final book in the Urban Vampire series. And then the final book that I have to release this year is a short story and it's entitled Vinyl Man. And this is going to be a purely erotic story. So it kind of goes back to the Pepper Pace, the past, when I first became a writer and I was writing erotica, which a lot of my romance stories have a lot of erotica in it because, I just feel like even with romance, I like to tell a deep story. And so if I'm going to lead you to these characters, and these characters, you're expected to follow them and understand them, and then these characters meet, they fall in love. I want to see what happens when they get together. I want to see what happens behind the closed doors. So that's why my romance stories are very descriptive in reference to sex because they're descriptive in reference to every other aspect of my character's life. So Vinyl Man is about a couple that wants to push the barrier of their sexuality, and they decide to introduce a vinyl costume. And when you put on this vinyl costume, so I hear, okay, so when you put on this vinyl costume, you no longer are that person that you were outside of the vinyl costume. I mean, you are completely concealed. You become like that third person in the relationship, especially if you follow the rules of being the vinyl man, which is that you can't talk and you really shut yourself off to being the person that you were. So I kind of wanted to explore those themes. So that is basically Pepper Pace's year for 2015. Now, I am going to be doing a lot of changes in 2016. Some things that I've talked about online and on Facebook, and I've had discussions about, changing the type of stories that I write. So I love writing interracial stories, but I think Pepper Pace being just boxed into just interracial stories isn't going to give me the exposure that I would need so that other people would know that I'm out there. So I'm going to start marketing Pepper Pace not just as an interracial writer, but as a romance author. I don't even really like, to be honest with you, I don't really like being stuck into a specific genre. And if you know my stories, you know that I've always written out of the box. So I don't write the same type of stories that you see often, like the kind of recycled themes. So I just kind of I'm more interested in reading about something that you don't see very often. So in 2016, I am going to continue adaptation, and that is my sci-fi story, because that story is more for myself, and I know that other people like it, so I'm so happy that you do. But I like writing it for myself, so I'm going to continue with adaptation, and then I'm going to just explore some new ground. You might not see quite as much Pepper Pace stories because I am just going to kind of slow down, I think, in pushing out the stories because you're expected to do X amount of stories a year if you're an independent author. You are. If you are a well-known mainstream Stephen King, Dean Koontz, you can do a book a year. But Dean Koontz and Stephen King, that's their job, is to be an author. And unfortunately, I have another job, so I write as a part-time job. So that's a lot of people do that. So you probably know about that. So in 2016, you can expect to see adaptation. You can expect to see a continuation of Wheels of Steel. But beyond that, you might not see too much of Pepper Pace. But that doesn't mean that I'm saying goodbye to you at all. It just means that the writing industry is not that favorable to indie authors. And I have to, now I'm just kind of, if I'm going to continue to write, I have to write for the love of writing and not just for making money, because that is not happening right now in the writing industry. Which kind of brings me to my GoFundMe. Now, the GoFundMe is to take some of my stories and to add them to audio, which I am a big fan of audiobooks. So I really want to see Wheels of Steel as an audiobook, but I would like to see these books into movies as well, whether it's on the big screen or the small screen. And I think that they're so visual. And a lot of authors have really good books that I would love to see on the screen. But if I can turn my books into scripts and then I can send them out as audiobooks, then I can market them as movie scripts. So that is the really the big thing. Now, in reference to doing a GoFundMe to help do that, is that once I turn these into audiobooks, then I don't get the full share of the sale of the book. So I have to purchase the producer's time, and the producer is generally the reader. So if I don't purchase their time for them to do that, then we do something called a royalty split. And so, I mean, that's not something that's good in the long run, especially if you intend to have books that go on for years and years. You know, there's not going to be an end to Wheels of Steel. So the goal is to be able to actually purchase the producer's time to put the books on audiobooks. And regardless of whether or not my GoFundMe is successful, I am still going to have to do that because that's my vision. And I'm not doing it because some other person said, gee, Pepper, I would like to see it. No, I'm doing it because I want to see it happen like that. And I think that it's just going to broaden it for other people to enjoy these stories in a different way. So that's GoFundMe. Let's see what else is there to talk about. I do want to do a reading of my latest story, which is Second Chances. Unfortunately, I don't have a due date for that because, like I said, it's still a work in progress. But it's a story about Max. She is a single mother, recently divorced. Actually, I'll read you the back of the book title or the back of the book information, and that'll give you a good idea of it. And then I'll show you the cover at the end of this. But okay, so this is the back of the book description. This Pepper Paste story is an extension of her best-selling novella, The Throwaway Year. The setting returns us to Fox Vinyl. I have to put on some glasses here. Sorry. See, this is what happens when you get old. You need bifocals. All right. So, the setting returns us to Fox Vinyl, a small family-owned telemarketing company located in an economically depressed area, Covington, Kentucky, where most of the workers are there because there just isn't anywhere else for them. Many are drug addicted, one step above the homeless, and down on their luck. Max is one such woman. Max struggles to make ends meet after a bitter separation and divorce from her controlling husband and a daughter that is always in need of the best of the best. The bill collectors are practically beating down her door, and Max is financially tapped and not sure where to turn. But then the answer comes in the form of easy money. Only easy money leads to a great deal of trouble, but sometimes what seems like the worst possible luck turns out to be a road to redemption. All right, so that is a portion of Second Chances, which will be coming within the next 4 weeks. I intentionally didn't pin it as a romance, but it is a story about redemption and finding yourself, and in finding yourself attracting somebody who sees the real you. I'll try to do another update soon, and if I don't talk to you on the vlog, just always feel free to drop me a line or chat with me on Facebook or private message me. I always try to respond to my private messages. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.